again, my little yarnivores and spiderettes. Fiber Spider back again with another tutorial just for you. Today we have got ourselves another lacy filet shawl. This one I call the Pendant Filet Shawl. It's very, very simple, and best of all, it's only a 3-row repeat. Yes, once you get it going, it's only a 3-row repeat, so it is one of those awesome projects for going on autopilot, and we all need those every now and again. I love how this came out. Now, ordinarily, when it comes to filet pieces, generally I only like to use a solid colorway. However, because this is mostly line work, I thought, yes, let's try an ombre. For this, I used Red Heart Super Saver Ombre in the deep teal colorway. I think it came out awesome. So let me just scooch this and show you how beautiful it is. Absolutely love this. So stinking easy. Now, for this project, I used, it was about maybe 1.5, not quite 2 skeins of this yarn. And I used a 6mm size J crochet hook because I wanted it to have a nice drape to it. And really that's all there is about to it. Today we're going to be using the same yarn in their purple colorway, and yeah, let's hop to it. Okay, first things first, with row 1, going to begin with a slip knot and a chaining up of 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we're going to work our stitches into that first chain. Now, if you are more of a fan of chaining 4, doing a slip stitch to that first chain to create a ring and working in those stitches, that's totally fine. Me, I quite often like to work into that first chain. So these remaining 3 counts as my first double crochet. So working into that first chain, 2 double crochets, so that we're going to have a grouping of a total of 3 doubles. Right there. Chain 1, and then 3 more doubles into that same chain. You could also do the magic loop method, something I generally don't do, but if you want to, go right ahead. And that is all there is to it, to row 1. Okay, row 2. Now all the rows will start the same, which is always nice. Start by chaining up 3, turn the work, and into this very first stitch, 2 double crochets. That's our increase at the beginning, and it will be at the end as well. So we've got 3 doubles right off the bat, chain 1, skip a stitch, and then into the next one, 3 doubles. And that is our increase to the right of the spine. This chain 1 right here, that is the center spine. That never changes throughout. So from here, chain 1, skip the spine, that chain stitch, into that first double, 3 doubles. Okay, chain 1, and then skipping a stitch into the top of this last double, 3 double crochet stitches. Can be a little bit fiddly, but trust me, it is worth it. There we go. Another thing that you may want to do is to mark that center spine chain space with either a stitch marker or a scrap of yarn, because when you're going on autopilot, it's easy to miss. So this right here, this is our center spine. So yeah, if you want to, just put a little marker right there. That way you know this is the first half, this is the second half. But at any rate, that is the end of row 2. Row 3. Start by chaining up 3 and turning 2 doubles into that first stitch. And then double into each of the next 2 stitches. So we'll have a total of 5. Okay, so we got our 5 doubles. Chain 1, skip a space, double into each of the next 2 stitches. And then the stitch before the center spine, 3 doubles. Okay, so we've got 5 and 5. Then we do our chain 1 for the center spine, and then we go back and do the exact same thing. So that first stitch is 3 doubles. Double into each of the next 2 stitches. Chain 1, skip that space, double into each of the next 2 stitches. There we go. And then into the top of that last stitch, 3 doubles. And one more. There you go. So basically we've got groupings of 5 all the way around, and next round we're going to continue on in the same vein. So let's get to it. Okay, row 4, chain up 3, turn, 2 doubles into that first stitch, okay, then double into each of the next 4 stitches for a total of 7. Okay, 2 more. There, so we got our grouping of 7. Let me just pull out a little bit more yarn here. Okay, chain 1, skip the space, double into the next 4 stitches, there we go. And then into that last stitch, 3 doubles. One more. Okay, so we've got 2 groups of 7, very nice. Then got our center spine, so chain 1, skip that space, 3 doubles into the next stitch. double into each of the next 4 stitches for the total of 7. Chain 1, skip that space, double into each of the next 4 stitches. And then, last but not least, 3 doubles into the top of that last stitch. Now I have a tendency of stitching a little bit tightly when I chain up. You might want to go a little bit loose so that it's easier to get into that top of that stitch there. So you have a little bit of an easier time than I am. All right, so onwards and upwards, going on to row 5. Okay, so in essence, rows 5, 6, and 7 are pretty much the repeat for the rest of this project. So, as per usual, start off by chaining up 3, and turn, and then 2 doubles into that first stitch. There we go. Now, because we don't want our blocks of double crochet stitches to be any wider than 7, well, now we're going to introduce a new eyelet. So it's sort of like what we did all the way down at the beginning. We're going to, after doing our 3 doubles, chain 1, skip a stitch, and then double into the next 5 stitches. It's going to help sort of regulate how wide the bands of double crochets are. So we'll get 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and then chain 1, skip the space, double crochet into the next 5 stitches. So we've got 2, 3, 4, and 5. Chain 1, skip a stitch, 3 doubles into the last stitch for the first half. And then we have our center spine. So chain 1, skip the center spine into that next stitch, 3 doubles. Chain 1, skip a stitch, double into the next 5 stitches. One more. There we go. Pull out a wee bit more yarn. Okay, so we've got our grouping of 5 there. Chain 1, skip that space, double into the next 5 stitches. And then chain 1, skip a stitch, and 3 doubles into the last stitch. there you go. All right, so that's the end of row 5. So basically, the existing eyelets, well, they don't change. We do create new ones so that these blocks of double crochets don't get any wider than 7. We want to maintain them at a level of 5. But, we're going to do the repeat, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So let's continue on, shall we? Okay, row 6. Chain up 3. And turn. 2 doubles into the first stitch. Double into each of the next 2 stitches. And then we have our chain space. So chain 1, skip the space, double into the next 5. Chain 1, skip that space, double into the next 5. So it's really a matter of maintaining the doubles and the chain spaces on the sides, but at the beginning and end of the sides, that's where we do our increases and shifting, so to speak, of the eyelets that we're creating as we go. So we've done our 5. Chain 1, skip that space, double into the next 2 stitches, and then in that third last stitch, 3 doubles. There we are. Chain 1 for the center spine, skip that space, next stitch, 3 doubles, double into each of the next 2 stitches, chain 1, skip the space, double into the next 5 stitches, chain 1, skip that space, double into the next 5, pull out more yarn, okay, so I already got the 1, I need 4 more. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, chain 1, skip that space, double into the next 2 stitches, and then we increase at the end as per usual. So I got the 2, then 3 doubles into that last stitch. There we go. All right, so now it is a lot of groupings of 5. Here, 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 and all along the other side. There you go. Okay, row 7. Chain up 3. And turn the work. 2 doubles into that first stitch. And then double into each of the next 4 stitches. So you'll have a total of 7. 7 is kind of the magic number. You don't want to go any further than that. If, however, if you want the strips and blocks, so to speak, of double crochets to be wider, then by all means you can do that. There's nothing saying that you can't change this. The crochet police are not hot on your tail. It's fine. All right, so I did my total of 7 here. Then chain 1, skip that space, double into the next 5. There we go. Chain 1, skip the space, double into the next 5. Okay, chain 1, skip the space, then going to be doubling into the next 4, and we're going to increase on that last one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is the center spine, so at this point 3 doubles into the last stitch of this side, the right side. There we go. Then chain 1 for the center spine, skip that space, 3 doubles into that first stitch. Okay. And then double into each of the next 4 stitches for the total of 7. There. Chain 1, pull out some more yarn. Okay, so I chained 1, then skip that space, double into the next 5 stitches. There we go. Chain 1, skip that space, double into the next 5. Chain 1, skip that space, double into the next 4. And then 3 doubles into the last stitch for a total of 7. And there you go. So that is, in essence, that is a full repeat. Now, because I like to be thorough and I love spending time with you guys, I'm going to do rows 5 through 7 once again, just so that I know you got it, all right? So let's get to it. Okay, so row 5 for the repeat, chain up 3, and turn, 2 doubles into that first stitch. Now, because we don't want to go any further than 7 wide, well, we're going to introduce a new eyelet. So chain 1, skip a stitch, and double into the next 5. There we go. Chain 1, skip the space, or the eyelet, whatever you want to call it, and double into the next 5, and do that until we reach the end of the right side of the shawl. So a lot of it really is maintaining the doubles over the doubles and the eyelets over the eyelets. And that is why this is very much an autopilot kind of project after a while. So I did my 5, chain 1, skip the space, 5 doubles. Every now and then we all need a bit of a mental vacation. And this is perfect. Love it. Love it. Okay, I did my 5, chain 1, skip the space, double into the next 5. There. Okay, and we still have 2 more, right? So chain 1, skip that stitch, and then into the last stitch, 3 doubles. Okay, chain 1 for the center spine, skip that space, 3 doubles into the next stitch. There. Chain 1, skip a stitch, double into the next 5. Yep. There we go. Got my 5. Chain 1, skip the space, double into the next 5. Chain 1, skip the space, double into the next 5. And scooch, and more yarn. Okay. Okay, so I've got my 5, chain 1, skip the space, double into the next 5. Alrighty, got 2 stitches left, chain 1, skip that stitch, and then 3 doubles into the last stitch. Okay, so that is row 5 for the repeat. Row 6 for the repeat. Chain up 3, and turn 2 doubles into that first stitch. Double into each of the next 2 stitches. So we'll have a total of 5. There we go. Chain 1, skip the space, double into the next 5, and do that all the way across the right side until we reach the last grouping. Okay, so we've got our 5 doubles, chain 1, skip the space, 5 doubles. There. Chain 1, skip the space, 5 doubles. Chain 1, skip the space, 5 doubles. Chain 1, skip the space, and then, well, we've only got 3, so double into the first 2, and then into the third one, 3 doubles. So we will have a total of 5. There you go. All right, then chain 1 for the center spine, skip that space, 3 doubles into that next stitch, and then double into each of the next 2 stitches for a total of 5. And then we're going to work our way across the left side in the same fashion that we've been doing. Doubles for the doubles, eyelets for the eyelets. So we've got an eyelet right here, so chain 1, skip that space, double in the next 5. There. Okay. Grab a bit more yarn. Okay. All right, so I have my 5. Chain 1, skip the space, double into the next 5. Chain 1, skip the space, double in the next 5. There. Chain 1, skip the space, double in the next 5. Okay, scoot my work a bit. Chain 1, skip the space, and we've only got 3, so double into the next 2, and then increase with that last stitch. So into the last one, 3 doubles. And there you go. Okay, one more to go. Let's get to it. Okay, row 7 for the repeat, last but certainly not least, chain up 3. And turn. And 2 doubles into that first stitch. There we go. And then double into each of the next 4, so that we'll have a grouping of 7. then maintaining the eyelets and the doubles, going to do that all the way across, chain 1, double in the next 5, etc., etc. Now, as far as what row to end on, totally arbitrary. You could end on a row 5, 6, or 7. I would say it is totally up to personal preference. So I did my 5, chain 1, and then do my 5 doubles. Okay, chain 1, skip that space, do my 5 doubles again. Chain 1, skip the space, 5 doubles. You sort of get into the groove, you know? Okay. Chain 1, skip the space. And in this case, it's going to be 4. Because this is right before the center spine. So I've got my 4. Then, because this is the center spine, 3 doubles into that last stitch to make up our 7. So again, I will, make the suggestion, put a stitch marker or a scrap of yarn, just, loop it through there so that, you have a marker, signifying where that center spine is, because it does have a remarkable tendency of blending right in if you are not observant. I mean, as much as I do say that this is an autopilot project, yeah, this is the one little caveat right there. So after doing our 7, chain 1, skip that center spine, then 3 doubles into that first stitch. And then double into each of the next 4 stitches. Okay, and then 1 more, so that we now have our 7 right there. Okay, and then following suit with what we've been doing, maintaining the eyelets and the doubles as we come across them. So chain 1, skip the eyelet, double in the next 5. Okay, chain 1, skip the space, double in the next 5. Chain 1, skip the space, double in the next 5. There we go, and we're almost there. Chain 1, skip the space, double in the next 5. Chain 1, And we're at the tail end, so after chaining 1, double in the next 4, and then increase that last stitch so that we'll have a grouping of 7. So we've got 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and then 3 doubles into the last stitch. And there you go. Okay. And that's all there is to it. It's a beautiful design. Oh, so simple. And like I said, once you get it going, it's really, really easy to follow through. And there you go. Alrighty, my dears. So that's going to conclude today's tutorial on how to make the Pendant Filet Shawl. Really hope that you liked it. And if you did, please give a little thumbs up button down below. You know that I appreciate your appreciation, as always. And in the comments section, let me know, what are you going to do with this pattern? What sort of colorways? Always interested in your, constructive criticism and your feedback and your creative journey. Yeah, so let me know. And you know what to do until next time, right? I want all of you to stay inspired, stay caffeinated, stay stitching, and please, stay safe. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now, everybody, and have a great day.